Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week of EGF action. As always, I am Kilo Miles, joined by Soy, and opening up the match today, we have two of the sort of question mark middle of the pack teams who are fighting to get higher up in the ladder. Fairfield University taking on Iona College.
Yeah, Mac battle to start the day. I don't think I'd have it any other way. I mean, Fairfield, like you said, these are two teams trying to kind of find their identity here early in the season, and so far they've done a decent job of it. Both of these teams at 1-2 and looking to get themselves a fighting chance in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and Iona did come out with some strong performances last week. They honestly really surprised me after they didn't really tell us a whole lot or show us a whole lot about what they were bringing to the table, but they had some really strong competitors, and more important than that, they had really consistent competitors. So it didn't really feel like they had like these huge peaks. They just had a bunch of different, unique, but powerful tools that I'm excited to see how that does against Fairfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look across the Iona roster through this first couple of weeks, and it feels like even though the characters might seem a little similar in places, the diversity of play styles between these two or between these two schools makes this matchup really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they both won the same amount of games. We're going to be starting out Iona fielding Moat, who we saw last week, loves the Terry, loves the Kazuya as well. Going up against Game Sage, not rocking the Wolf this year, it's the Game & Watch.
Yeah, a bit of a switch up, and I do tend to like this pick, but the one problem you're going to see is that Mode is going to have these opportunities to get Game & Watch to these super high percents and kill very early. I can't believe that almost killed on its own.
The one thing about Terry is he does have kill confirms on floaties. He has kill confirms on anyone. You just have to have very different kill confirms than you would on literally anyone else in the cast. As we saw them almost get it, but Game Sage was there with the DI. Now at the ledge right here, they're going to be caught by the down tilt, and the hit stun is going to set right up into the side B.
Yeah, and that was just smart too, recognizing that Game Sage wanted to kind of pressure where Moat was and just landing that quick down tilt, immediate follow-up afterward. Just very smart by Moat.
And Moat knows how to play the Game & Watch matchup, because if you go for any too long combos, you're going to get smacked by that up B. So instead, you go for 1, 2, 3 hit strings. Terry does enough damage where it's the same as a 6 hit string from anyone else. And then you just wait for your opportunity and get the kill. Honestly, perfect clean gameplay right now. Moat, the discipline that they're displaying is frankly unmatched by many of the people we see.
Yeah, that was an incredible. I mean, that forwarder comes out from Game & Watch, you think, okay, I'll probably eat this explosion or I have to tie it up somehow. But no, he challenges it with the down tilt and still gets off his combo. And now he's got Game Sage at 42%. Really a struggle here for him.
Yeah. Able to beat out that forward smash and to catch the tech in place. Now Game Sage trying to just avoid getting 3-stock. That down tilt was scary, but you're not at ledge. You're able to just roll away that time. But only hitting with one part of the multi-hit right there and landing on stage, catching the out-of-shield option right there. Game Sage tried to get aggressive, and why wouldn't you? You have been knocked around for so long, you just want to get that one hit in. Moat's not going to let you, though.
Yeah. I mean, that was just solid all around by Moat right there. That was, I mean, Moat is one of these players for Iona that's been in every single week. And so far, he's 2-1 in his sets. And you can tell why. He's pretty strong. His conversions are very clean. And it's like he said, against a floaty character like Game & Watch, it felt like he kind of knew what he wanted to do and just executed.
Yes, but it's the kind of thing where you have to have diversity if you're going to go for a strategy like that, and Moat does. Like, characters with strong kill confirms can get caught in this mental trap where you just need to hit that up tilt. You just need to hit that up tilt. And it's the only thing you're thinking about until you're just getting smacked around and you're not hitting anything, not even stray hits. Moat didn't really have that issue. They had the down tilts, they had the landing nairs, they had the jabs, obviously. All of them converted, and it just had too many options. Did you see what led into that first almost kill off stage? It was like a landing nair into immediate side B off stage. That shocked me. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was so quick and clean too. I mean, and Game & Watch is at 70% there, and you think most characters are 70%. Yeah, it's probably fine, but Game & Watch being one of the lightest characters in the cast, I feel like it was kind of a shell shock moment for Game Stage going, oh no, I need to find a way to turn this around. And all of a sudden, that first stock being down 70% kind of puts you on the back foot and leaves you hunting for a way back into the game. I think he kind of tunnel vision on that type of gameplay, which allowed Moat to continue to have his openings.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I feel like the shield is the key here. The issue is we didn't really get to see much of Moat's shield pressure because there wasn't much shielding to begin with. So I feel like you've got to go for the mix-up of shielding a little more often rather than just trying to beat out Terry's moves. Because while Game & Watch's moves do have a tremendous amount of priority, if the move is already there, you're just going to get smacked.
Yeah, between shielding and on top of that too, it felt like the spacing was just a little bit off for Game Sage, right? Things like the forward air that he was just dropping were never really connecting. They were never really threatening the space. Moat was just allowed to kind of go in, so it's something that you're looking for here entering Game 2.
Yeah, very nice footsies right there, leading into the grab, the tech chase right there, but reading a more aggressive option, Moat not going to be rewarded, but they still are able to avoid the bulk of the damage.
Good forward tilt to get Terry off stage, but it's immediately turned back around on him, and now Game Stage at 80%.
Yeah. If Game Stage is aerial at all and they get caught by the jab or the down tilt, it feels like a guaranteed side B. So maybe even a more grounded Game & Watch is a good idea, because at least then you have options out of the down tilt, but still, the more grounded option actually does seem to be what Game Stage is going for, and it's given them some mileage, a much more even first stock right here, but then, like I said, you're in the air, it's an invitation to be punished, but you're out of that main side B kill confirm range now.
And this is big too. This is the first time we've really seen Moat with Go online, and the quick side B, again, catching the misspacing of Game Sage.
Yeah, as now you have Go, some honestly instant and free 60% combos, right? Not something many people can say about Game & Watch. Game Stage gonna be trying playing around that. A lot of dashbacks right here, a lot of respect for the space that Moat now occupies, at least theoretically. But there it is, 70% on the board.
That was huge too, and this is going to be another follow-up. That's going to be the stock. Oh boy, Moat on fire right now.
Yeah, and that parry on the landing hit a back air 44% instantly, and now you're on ledge. They're looking for that down tilt. They want it so badly, and shoving you off the ledge right there. Oh, the grab. A double 3-stop to open it up, and that's not even Iona's captain. They've still got more in the tank. Moat has been an impressive player so far. They're one of the new hotshots, but still, that is worrying if you are a Fairfield player seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the start you want if you're Fairfield, but if you're Iona, you couldn't ask for more. Moat was playing incredible stuff. I mean, just it's one thing to have Go and use, just kind of throw out those moves. It's another thing to always land those confirms. He was so clean. He instantly knew every single follow-up he wanted. And it's like you saw, 40% became 80% became the stock, and that's all he really needed.
Yeah, and even with the Go, that was what really impressed me. They knew how to use it, but they didn't overcommit. The thing about Go, it was explained in the Terry demonstration video, is it's very shieldable, and it's very punishable out of shield. The moves, even though they're tremendously strong, do like as much shield damage as some people's forward tilts. It's just not enough. So they don't throw them out until they get the confirm into it, instead of just fishing. Sure, you might catch a jump with the power geyser or something like that, but you don't need to, and that's the key.
Yeah, and on top of that too, it's actually another thing to note that when you're at Go, you are basically at kill percent, right? And with a character like Game & Watch, you have some pretty good kill options here and there, but it just never felt like Game Sage had the opportunity to find those kill moves. He landed down smash a couple times early on and at low percents, but it never grounded him. He never landed any of those dash back forward smashes. It felt like I harped on it a couple times, but it just felt like Game Sage's spacing was just a little bit off.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. And again, it felt like the defense wasn't that there either. Sometimes it can be tempting to just put it all on the punish game of the enemy player, but when you get double 3 stock like that, there are definitely some things you can do. Like with SDI at ledge, there's a lot of hit stun on those moves. Again, the uppy out of shield, I don't know if we saw it once, Soy.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to think of when did they shield? And obviously that's a good bit of conditioning from Moat, making you terrified to ever throw up that shield once. But either way, you still have to demonstrate that it is an option you're willing to take, otherwise it's going to get abused. Because in the Raw Footsies game, the fighting game characters were designed around Footsies. They're not going to lose it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you saw Moat take full advantage of it too. I do want to circle back to the other point I was talking about. When you have Go online at those high percents, it's something to kind of watch as the season progresses. The players that can hold on to those stocks are really dangerous in this league because every single stock matters. And Terry at those high percents, having that raw kill power is really good, but to be able to play for your stock is another level of good. So, I'm really impressed by Moat here for game number 1, and glad to see, that Iona's starting to develop those kind of heavy hitters that we talk about.
Yeah, now, looking forward, let's see who we're going to have here. We have Loser coming in from Iona right away, and that I'm excited for, because Loser, they're running a not often seen character that is incredibly hype, incredibly viable. It's Pikachu. And you don't see a lot of Pikachu, especially online, because of how hyper-specific some of the combos are that make Pikachu the best in the game. But even without access to those combos, still a pretty dang good character, Soy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Pikachu's, he's got so many options for so many different scenarios. And on top of that, too, the capability of edge guarding with Pikachu is always, I think, ever present in a matchup. And when you have that capability of edge guarding in these types of scenarios, the ability to close out stocks, it's very important. And Loser, the one time we saw him this year, he looked pretty good. He's 1-0 so far, so kind of a big set for him here entering week 4.
Yeah, not the most consistent player, definitely not as consistent with the confirms as we saw with Moat, but still definitely up there. I remember the edge guards were the key thing. They were willing to go deep for a back air off stage, which is a guaranteed kill against many characters.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Pikachu as a character is just so threatening. And the other thing, too, is that they're kind of hard to track down. That small body and how fast they are makes them really difficult to catch. They can crouch under certain projectiles, things like that. It's not an easy matchup for a lot of characters.
Not at all. And I've seen them get a lot of mileage here. There are very few characters that really do shut down Pikachu, though. Since we got some time, gonna be a little bit before we get into that next match, and I thank you all for your patience, for waiting this out with us. It does remind me of, I was at another tournament the other week. I saw a Pikachu player come out, amazing Pikachu player, getting 3 stocks throughout the bracket as they're running it up. They get to top 16. They play against the player who would ultimately win the tournament, or get second, I believe, and they beat them. They beat them handedly with their amazing punish game. You know what the counter pick was? It was Game & Watch, which you now have off the table unless you've got another Game & Watch in your back pocket, which is not impossible, but not likely. And, well, Game & Watch makes Pikachu look like they're from a different game. It looks... I can't even describe how it radically changes the matchup. When you can only get these tiny little strings, you can't edge guard them, and if you try to use most of your tools, you're just filling up the bucket. Like, it is unbelievable how much a character can get invalidated. You don't usually see it unless you're against low tiers. But then here's best character in the game getting walloped.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like you said, just a lot of Pikachu's stuff kind of gets invalidated because, well, you can't get in on this character as easily. They're, again, really hard to kind of track down. And the other thing, too, is that you have these players that can kind of switch between styles from, press heavy to defensive, right? And Pikachu's one of those characters that I think it's very easy to be offensive. It's easy to kind of just go, okay, let me go for the nairs on shield or something and just pressure constantly until I get my opening. Because you have such mobility, you're so fast, it's easy to kind of do that. But it's the players that can take a step back and kind of shift the momentum of a match that really look dangerous.
For sure. And speaking of shifting the momentum, I don't think there's a bigger momentum shift than having, well, let's list off, shall we, the kill confirms of Pikachu. And I'm not even going to include the edge guarding, because even though that really should be back air off stage. But anyways, we've got up throw, dash attack. Again, I'm not going to include tech chasing. Up throw thunder. Drag down nair. Even some drag down forward air and back air stuff is semi-true, but I'm not even hit. I bet you there's some salty Pikachu player out there who's like, well, you missed. Here, I can fill up that other hand for you. There's a reason why this character is so scary, because at any percent, they are a serious threat to your stock. No matter how high or low you are, they have at least 3 ways to end your life in an instant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This character is very dangerous, and it's one of those things too that in this format makes this character so interesting, right? Because even though a lot of the matches are online and the combos can be a little bit harder online, the fact that they still have that capability to end your stock so quickly without, they only need that 1 or 2 openings to really put the pressure on you. It makes this character very pivotal. And it's one of those characters that I tend to say is controls the pace of a match very well. The second Pikachu's on screen, you go, okay, I have to adapt to their pace, because they are the ones who are going to either put the pressure on or play that defensive style.
But speaking of controlling the pace of the match and defensive style, we've got a Sephiroth coming in with Nightfall from Fairfield. Now, just because I had mentioned it earlier, that Pikachu player hitting double 3 stocks on stream, the double 3 stock that they hit was on a very good Sephiroth player. So, in theory, I think this matchup is not terrible for Sephiroth, but my personal experience begs to differ. Now, we're going to have to see how this fares out here and now, because, jumping right into it, don't even have time to discuss the merits of Sephiroth. But let's just say, 10-mile sword, and you don't even have platforms to mix it up.
Yeah, it's like we said, loser's going to control the pace of this matchup, but if Nightfall gets these openings early, you can tell he can do some damage, and Sephiroth's got ways to kill early as well.
Yeah, Pikachu going to have a harder time getting in against Sephiroth, but I saw that aggressive quick attack right here. The fact that they're even willing to go for that makes me excited. Going to drop the combo just a bit, and a very hard read off of the edge. It's just going to set up for another situation, but they're not dashing forward out of that down throw, so they're not going to get the follow-up. Back here, though, at low percent, is going to set up into more. Not a ton of huge combos yet, though. Just trying to feel each other out.
Yeah, and you saw Nightfall, he does not want to be off stage for long. He's got to play so carefully because he knows Loser is willing to go for those deep edge guards. You saw him quickly up B the last time he was knocked off stage.
Woo! Nice spot dodge right there to get out of that down smash and disadvantage. That could have been a life ender right there, as going to avoid that forward smash by going way high. One wing about to come out at this point, so you want to get Sephiroth off stage where you can at least maybe deal with them before they get too much mileage. But the counter there, gonna give them a little more, and they get one wing for pretty much free off of that team jolt. Not a lot you can do now. It's a lot harder to really zone out this character when they got the triple jump and airspeed.
Loser, you can tell he's okay. That down smash. Okay, so that's the low profile I was talking about from earlier. The side B you would think would get punished, but no, he's able to dip underneath that sword. But I really like Nightfall's use of that down smash. He's using it sparingly, and he's using it for callouts like that. The roll behind down smash taking the first stock.
Nightfall playing a very grounded Sephiroth, though. I would love to see every now and then just an anti-air, because it feels like Loser is just going over them for free a lot of the time. Down air at a disadvantage right there is going to give you some percentage, and you're able to keep Loser off stage as well. We talked about Loser controlling the pace of this game, but Nightfall has really turned that around.
Ooh, not enough fade on that up B. He's got it. That's one of those slide angles that, you know, someone like a Fox is kind of known for. In Sephiroth, it's a lot harder, but not able to grab the ledge there and lose the second stock.
Yes. Try and get the T-Jolt ledge trap. Honestly, a shockingly even game, but with Loser in disadvantage right now and them having a hard time getting big punishes. Again, we haven't really seen any huge combos yet. It's just been some good stray hits and keeping Nightfall where they don't want to be. Neck chase right there, but not able to follow with the T-Jolt.
Ooh, that shield is dangerously low, and you can tell Nightfall's hunting for it now. The down smash is not going to connect. He is going to land that forward tilt, though. And the other note that I have is that Loser, for all those edge guards that Pikachu can pull off, he just has not had the ability to go off stage. That forward smash not going to get the kill yet.
Well, oh! I was about to say, if there's one character who can delay off stage, it's Pikachu, but Loser wanted that ledge badly. And now you're going to get dragged across stage as well, 35% from just the up B. And now, setting up for even more. With the one wing, they're able to jump way out, get another forward air. And that's some points on the board right there for Fairfield, coming out in a big way against Loser.
What a huge statement.
Yeah, it really is a big statement, Soy, as
for Nightmares to play again.
Oh, we good? We good? Sounds like you're back.
Am I back yet? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say, what a statement game from Nightfall, because we talked about how scary Pikachu can be, and Nightfall, that was a fantastic last stock. His spacing with that forward air, it was perfect. It was just where he needed to be, and catching the jump too was incredible stuff.
Yeah, it was honestly flawless towards the end right there. I feel like it really was a scenario of they were taking away Loser's main approach option, so they had to get creative, and Pikachu can get creative, but they weren't ready to get many follow-ups off of landing behind Sephiroth and having an instant to try and throw out an option. Like, we saw some landing dares on top as, again, Nightfall felt oddly allergic to any sort of anti-airs, so getting a lot of full hops over Sephiroth for free. But even when they got behind them, there wasn't a lot that Loser was really getting off of it. They'd get one down air, maybe a back air, drag down, and then they couldn't convert anymore, because that's just not how they're used to approaching and converting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other thing, too, is that I don't really think Loser was able to land a grab that entire match, now that I think about it. And that's a huge aspect of Pikachu's kit.
Yeah, we did see a little towards the beginning that they love to try and do the down throw into up airs, but it just wasn't working as well as it can. But if you want to use that up air so badly, Sephiroth is a tall character. Even just running up, shielding, and up airing out a shield, or landing with up air, like, it's shockingly easy when the character is a skyscraper like that.
Yeah, no, so looking at game number 2 here, I feel like the adaptation is on Loser here. You've got to find a way to start landing those combos that Pikachu really thrives on. It is difficult on a character like Sephiroth, who, you know, has so much space that they can occupy. But like we said, there are ways to get around it.
Yeah, certainly are. So After that sort of vibe check in game 1, we'll see how they're able to adapt going into the second game on Kalos, which is huge for Pikachu, especially because the vertical walls, they give you an entirely another new dimension of recovery options.
Yeah, and it's not going to be as easy for Sephiroth to get those kills off the top of the screen either with that tall blast zone, but I mean, these are two characters that I think, actually, for the most part, tend to kill off the side, so very dangerous kind of gameplay here.
I'm not going to convert that much else, but Loser's just doing a great job, well, doing what we wanted them to do game 1, controlling the pace of the match. They only get hit, or want to get hit, when, well, they want to. And since they don't want to get hit, well, it's a little bit harder to get in, especially with how much room they have to play with and how they can just go straight over the top anytime they feel threatened. Nightfall is going to have some trouble finding out how to track down this little rat on this counter pit.
And right now, Loser's doing a good job of reading Nightfall's defensive options too. Things like the roll away that were working in game 1 are not working anymore here as Loser's options are just coming out so quick.
Yeah, now get the down throw there to kind of just... Ooh, they interrupt the recovery right there. And Nightfall wasn't ready with the instant upbeat either. I don't know if they realized what was happening, but they fall to their doom, and now they're at a deficit for the first time.
Yeah, huge stock for Loser to take, and a lot of work to be done on this stock as well for Nightfall.
Yeah, going for these landing options again. And that's an aggressive one, but they're still going to go unpunished because of how much they've conditioned Nightfall to just give Pikachu room to breathe. Because if you don't, well, you go for the forward smash in center stage, the quick attack goes right on you. And I love the use of this quick attack right here. Nightfall is having such a hard time committing to that burst option. And even though it is punishable for sure, it's difficult to. And Nightfall is finding that out firsthand.
Yeah, still a lot of work to be done on this stock. That down smash, that's big, but Loser surviving here, and he's going to be able to get away. Great reverse there. I actually like going behind him with that upbeat, knowing that Nightfall was going to, kind of tunnel vision on tracking him down to the right side of the stage.
And they did not care at all about that counter, running straight through it. They were going for the dash grab anyways. As now Nightfall is... I mean, definitely still in this. Sephiroth can definitely make you blow up, literally. But I feel like the tempo has just been swinging in Loser's direction the entire time.
Ooh, that's a dangerous landing on stage, but can't find the punish on it. And now, swinging for the fences. Ooh, the armor of the up smash coming in clutch for Nightfall.
Yeah, the one wing, that's an often overlooked benefit right there. But the extra jump going to save them this time when they get caught by the T-Jolt off the stage. Now, instant recovery onto stage, but they don't get a huge opportunity to punish because they do get caught by a T-Jolt on their landing. There's the quick attack right there. But I was going to say, starting to look for maybe some drag down nairs or something, or you can catch them with the landing counter, because that seems to be a favorite of Nightfall's, and there's the cleanup that you want to see. Down throw into the up air, constant pressure right now. Turning up the heat very suddenly, to be honest.
Yeah, quick 33, and look at Nightfall trying to find a way back into this game, but Loser's just making himself really difficult to track down. Look at all these neutral bees that Loser is throwing out, and Nightfall doesn't have a good answer for them.
Yeah, no good answer at all. As they get caught by the forward air right there. Tech chase on the platform, but they're able to escape for now. Alright, now... Yes. Ooh. Big catch by the up air right there. As well... Nightfall is making this look pretty doable. The one wing is really helping them mix up their movement, but the landing quick attack once again, they're a little bit out of the true conversion range though, and their reads are not paying off.
Yeah, now got to play very carefully. Nightfall is at kill percent, or just about either way here. And now with him being off stage, has to be so careful along the ledge. Oh, he wanted the grab. That could have been huge for Loser.
Wanted it so badly as, ooh, that armor right there is actually going to lead into even more damage off of that forward air. Going for maybe the up there? No, they just want this edge guard. That's their main game plan right now. They're not getting risky with it.
Ooh, and you can tell Loser's really hunting for these grabs, but Nightfall, good job avoiding them so far. That's another huge grab. Up throw, and it will kill Loser with a 2-stock response.
Yeah, really just nullifying the advantage that Nightfall had bought their team in the first round. Now, looking a little more optimistic going into this game 3, but we do have to remember, Kalos is incredibly good for the Rat. It is so good in the fact that you can circle camp if you want. Even characters like Sephiroth, you can circle camp, which we did see a bit. Also, the fact that the T-Jolts travel right down the stage, blocking off that angle of recovery. We saw that get a full stock at one point. That is not going to be on the table now going into the third game. It's going to be their counter pick, and if I were them, I would go somewhere small. Choke out the Pikachu. Don't give them any room to breathe.
Yeah, and a smaller stage too is just going to be so difficult because of the space that Sephiroth can occupy. So I am very curious to see what Nightfall opts for here. We haven't seen something like a PS2 yet today, which is interesting, but it's something to keep note of for this set.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like a more even stage like PS2 could definitely be it. They've actually been banning PS2. That's interesting. They don't want to go to that at all. Do you have any reason why they might not like that stage, Soy?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, it feels like a very neutral stage. I know that Pikachu does have that absurd recovery using like the pillar at the bottom of the stage at the very center. But I mean, that's a very kind of niche thing that only characters with wall jumps and really good recoveries can do. So outside of that, I don't really see a reason to avoid it specifically. But what is also interesting is that when you ban a very kind of neutral stage like PS2, it forces people to kind of show their cards of where they would want to go. Rather than starting off at a stage that everyone kind of knows, it makes people start to lean towards a stage they might favor.
Yeah, and, well, Pikachu really has many places, but yeah, this is what I was expecting. The Smashville coming out. The small stage is going to make it so much harder to play that circular game plan that we saw Loser go to. They're going to have to take a couple more risks in order to get the same sort of mileage they did on Kalos, and they need to make sure that they're getting more than just 3-hit punishes. Again, just back air at low percent. That's really the main thing you've got to be fishing for, because we didn't really see much out of the back air. It was more of a kill move than they really used it for low percent combos, which is why back air is probably one of the best moves in the game, because of those low percent combos.
Yeah, and the key for Nightfall here entering this game too, even though he's got the stage counter pick on his side, is that he's got to be very careful about his defensive options. Loser did a great job of reading those defensive options as the set was going on. Things like the rollback, the landing counter. Nightfall's got to be using those sparingly.
Ooh, and there's the back air right there, but they read a jump that's not going to manifest, so Nightfall is going to escape for the time being. That was a very interesting option right there. Knowing that Nightfall likes to use the low ending lag of that forward smash to just do an immediate option, so they cover every option except for, I guess, immediate attack again. With that side beam now in the neutral, trying to approach, but there's the back air to send him off stage. Still a jump though. They outspace the up B with forward smash. All right, Pikachu busted. I've never seen that up B be outspaced.
I'm in shock. I'm at a loss for words. That was beautiful by Loser, and it nearly took the stock too. Now you can tell Nightfall, he's in kind of panic mode right now. Okay.
Now, Loser, now that the one wing is out, making it a little more difficult to challenge Smash Tech's challenge approaches, it's going to be a little tougher, but they still are able to get the back air at ledge, and again, Sephiroth's so light that almost even killed. Actually, we're at the percentage where up there would kill as well. So, like I said, count them on your hands. The kill confirms of Pikachu. You just got to land one. Back air at center stage, that is not one of them.
I mean, at 160, You know, I actually don't mind that counter usage there from Nightfall. That up is actually huge, though. It's going to give him stage control.
And you can't let it get in your head that you can't find this easy confirm. The back air, I asked for more back air, so I can't complain too much. It's just perhaps not this second is where we would want to be seeing them. As snap back to reality right there. They're going to be caught by the counter, and all that rage is going to be Loser's dash back is going to be caught. It's not gone, and you've got to find the way in. At this point, it's getting a little desperate.
180, there's the grab. That should do it. Up throw off the top. I did want to commend Nightfall, though, for that counter. Those neutral bees that were doing so much work on Kalos, they're not going to do as much here because that counter is going to occupy, again, so much space, and it was able to seal away that first stock.
Down air, not going to connect into much, but catching the, I think that was a neutral air dodge with the forward air, long-lasting hitbox. And there's not going to convert into anything either, but every time Nightfall comes in, Loser is there to beat it out with a different option.
Yeah, it's making it very difficult for Nightfall here, as Loser, with all the stage control right now, he's kept Nightfall in the corner of the map for so long.
And now Nightfall, dashing around that ledge. This one wing is where they've gotten a lot of their big moments so far. Now they're going to use it now. Going behind them right there, crucial. You know how much Nightfall loves that forward smash. I'm going to be throwing them off stingage again, but the instant recovery straight to ledge, reminiscent of the Spaceys.
At 116, the pressure is on Nightfall to find a way to get this stock back into manageable territory, but that was a great grab. You can't quite find the kill off it, though.
That upbeat right there, that was scary, right? Hoping to drag Loser across the stage, which we actually saw them do last stock, but Loser adapting. Now it's going to kill. But if you're relying solely on that up throw and getting the 180, you might as well just play a different character. I mean, there's better ways to go about it. And while I like how Loser is doing it, it shows the fear that Nightfall is instilling in them.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Sephiroth's a character that can also take stocks early, and if it takes so long for Loser to find these kills, he's just buying more and more time for Nightfall to find a way back into this game. I mean, at 93, one strong hit here from Nightfall could be the stock, and only at 57 is Nightfall right now.
And I love not using the double hit of that quick attack right there, because it's clear Nightfall is getting ready for it now. Still 2 stocks on the board for Loser. You don't want to make it close, though. You don't want to have a clutch victory. You just want to win it out. As good as a show as it would be for us right there. Going for the hard read on the neutral get-up. Not going to catch it. Nightfall, their defense is on point right now, but they get caught by that. Not going to instantly die there, but the neutral get-up caught. I think they were trying to dash back, dash away, dash off stage. Because with that triple jump, gives you so many options. But when you hold out like that, and you get caught by a strong move, it's game over. As Loser is able to get the reverse 2-0 and keep Iona's lead extending, even though Fairfield made it a nail-biter.
Yeah, that's a huge win for Loser there, and I think you're absolutely right. Kind of a DI trap, that forward smash connecting as he's trying to, kind of space properly and get away from that move, which is an unfortunate ending if you're Nightfall, because it still felt very doable for him. But in the end, again, I think it was just kind of Loser adapting and, finally starting to get these things that make Pikachu such a threatening character.
Yeah. I really did enjoy how much, especially on the second game, they were able to control the pace of the game. I felt like they really came into their own. There was a lot of respect being given to every single hitbox that Sephiroth could throw out. I feel like towards the end there, you could have gotten away with a little less respect. But if you're going to go for the disrespect play and completely ignore the fact that Sephiroth can throw out some of the best anti-airs in the game, and just jump in and land the landing neutral air, for example, you've got to be able to follow up on it. So if Loser is able to clean up and talk to their very consistent teammates, still flashing back to Moat, and how that deconstruction happened in game 1. I feel like Loser can definitely clean up their gameplay a little bit and maybe end up changing their tag to something a little more positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Loser's one of these players that I think for Iona, there's got to be a kind of emphasis on, not only because of the character that they play, but because Iona being the newcomers in the MAC, there's a lot of pressure on them to see how they can perform. Where do they stack up in this MAC conference? And with every player in the roster being so important, to have a top tier character in the lineup is so damaging to your opponents, right? Because you think, oh, okay, how do we try and counter this? And so if he can clean up a few things here and there and become one of these consistent kind of anchors for this lineup, it would be leaps and bounds. It would be leaps and bounds for this roster.
Yes, now going to a little bit different pace, hopefully, maybe a little faster, as we got the King of Speed himself, Captain Falcon, coming in for Iona College, being piloted by Kibbs. Meanwhile, let's see, who is it going to be? It's going to be Heath. So Joker versus Captain Falcon for Fairfield and Iona, respectively. That's going to be an interesting one right there, as I feel like Kibbs definitely is a rushdown player, but you've got to be ready to be shut out at times.
Yeah. On top of that, Kibbs is also he I think the last time we saw him on stream, he actually I think swapped from Captain Falcon to Falco at one point too. So he does kind of like that rushdown style. But it's like we said, these rushdown characters, they're good until they get punished, and then they're in a world of trouble. So I think that might be the type of matchup we're about to see. A very fast-paced matchup, but just constant punishing.
Yeah. And the one who benefits definitely more from that constant punishing is going to be Joker, obviously, getting the Arsene. But if you actually get a lead on Joker and Joker gets Arsene at low percents, that's not the end of the world for Captain Falcon, because remember that change to Joker means that, well, you're going to be losing Arsene meter every time you get caught in a long combo. And a long enough combo means you don't even get to play around with Big Brother Arsene at all. So we'll see if they're able to leverage that to their advantage, if the Rebels Guard does come out to slow some of these approaches. Because the thing about Captain Falcon on Wi-Fi, it is hard to mix up how you approach. It's really hard. Even harder than on land, because while you do have amazing burst potential, once you're in, you're in. There's no real dashback potential for Captain Falcon. So if you overcommit, you're going to be punished hard.
Yeah, and I think that the other key here for Heath, if he opts for this Joker, is the play without Arsene, right? Because everyone knows what Joker can do with Arsene, but it's the play around that bar that I think is so important, and that really defines the types of Jokers that we have here in the EGF. And so for Heath, timing things like the Rebels Guard, the use of that side B, his use of landing options like gun or edge guarding options like gun, however he decides to use neutral B. Those are going to be, I think, the kind of defining factors of what type of Joker is Heath.
Yeah, and we'll get to see that a little more going into the match now. And it's going to be Town and City. The large cities and the multiple platforms going to do wonders for both of these relatively slippery characters. As they drop that Rebels Guard a little bit early, they're going to be hit hard for it, but no real follow-up right there. They want this side B badly, though. That's what I can tell right out the gate.
Ooh, good grab, and there's the quick follow-ups, but can't quite find that next up air. And you can tell Kibbs is doing a great job of finding these openings right now.
Misspacing that knee just barely is going to hurt. Accidentally getting a turnaround grab, though. Heath now going to have Arsene online, but not really following that tech chase at all. They're trying to juggle Kibbs just a little bit, but it's so hard to challenge those hitboxes. Just have to go straight under, get the forward smash on the landing. Kibbs holds the lead for now.
That was good by Kibbs, reading the spacing on Heath. Heath wanted to just kind of hold forward there and push Kibbs to the wall. But the second he missed that forward air, Kibbs instantly dashed back and spaced that forward smash beautifully.
Yeah, now we're just trying to poke a little bit with this gun, but oh, the weight right there on the Rebels guard, knowing exactly what defensive option he's wanted. When you get predictable like that, that's why counters aren't that relevant at the highest level of play. It hurts when you get called out. As speaking of called out, your landing getting called out hard right there by the dash grab, but not a lot of follow-up before you land the back air.
Huge back air for Heath to land too. He's about to lose Arsene. There he goes. And so to take that kill power off that last stock was huge.
Yeah, definitely important. So you get the tech chase now. Kibbs okay with slowing the pace of the game down a little bit. They're okay with taking some damage if it means making Heath sweat.
Dangerous around that ledge there. That side B does have the potential to spike, and I think Heath is a little weary of it as well as they were both getting back to stage.
Yeah, I mean, down gun's one way to challenge it for sure, but if you're not in position, then it's hard to really get that going. So I don't mind going for the ledge trap a lot of the time, as up air that high almost actually killed. Maybe fishing for a back air at ledge there, but instead they're just going to get the forward tilt. Arsene is out, but they wait out the counter once again. That's twice that counter has been converted into a massive lead for Kibbs.
That down B really has kind of been detrimental to Heath this game, because even way back in stock number 1, the spacing around the Rebels guard from Kibbs, it feels like Kibbs is just taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, 100% so. As get the accidental jab lock with Salty, and they try and go all the way down, get the 2-frame, but they can't quite connect it. Forward tilt to send them off stage, and they catch the immediate jump. The greedy option right there, punished hard. And right at the end, Arsene becomes vulnerable right there. That is going to be it. Heath taking the game, and honestly, this is just a little detail. You notice Joker dies before Arsene right there? Arsene was still on the screen.
I did see that.
I was watching that, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. You learn new things about this game every day, even when you talk about it for 7 hours a week plus.
Yeah. No, great stuff there to Kibbs from Iona. That was just a solid showing. I know I already mentioned it, but the spacing around that down B was just fantastic. And it goes to show that's something that rushdown characters, I think, really kind of need to have in their back pocket, right? Knowing someone's defensive options so that you can have that next follow-up. And you look at Joker's counter and you think, okay, this is a really good move. I'm getting beat up on by this rushdown character. I'll just throw it out next time I'm getting comboed. And then Kibbs waits on it and punishes it perfectly. That's just really solid stuff to him.
Yeah, I really enjoyed how they used it as well. At low percents, able to get the grab converting into an extra 30% on a combo that probably wasn't going to continue anyway if they had just gone for an air dodge. Or at high percent, we saw just waiting out the counter with Arsene and getting a, you know it, you love it, folks, nice back air.
Yeah, solid stuff there. And you have to wonder here, too, for Heath, if he decides to ride this Joker out, because the way Kibbs really commanded those last 2 stocks, it felt like taking the wind out of your sails, right? After that, I mean, Heath's only stock was a last second back air that as he was landing. And so if that's going to be your only way to find an opening, you've really got to switch things up here. And speaking of switch up, a little bit of a switch up for Iona.
Interesting. I mean, everyone's got a pocket Pyramithra, except for me. But, so I don't think this is a bad pick, especially as they've demonstrated their ability to use these frame traps, use these forced air dodges to great effect. But, so, felt like the time was a little off. Very clean, very conservative movement so far from Kibbs, though, on this Pyramithra.
Yeah, it's been really difficult for... Oh, well, I was going to say it's been difficult for Kibbs to track him down, but Heath falling prey to just hit after hit, and the raw kill power of Pyra is just something else in this game.
Yeah, as they look for that option off ledge, but they get punished for it now. Down there, not going to connect into much as Kibbs is really controlling the ground game with these running tilt attacks, and then Pyra at only 60%. They saw you got some kill power here, and they want some.
It's a good jab from Keith to get Hibbs off stage, or excuse me, Kibbs off stage. But I mean, you can tell he was just kind of searching for these openings, and he's been pushed to the corner so many times.
Yeah, it has been kind of shocking how. Well, now, okay, one overcommittal option is all you need, and well, maybe if you're not as familiar with the character, it's easy to accidentally put yourself in a very punishable situation. But speaking of very punishable, getting the spot dodge right there is just an invitation to a strong punish when you're right next to the huge sword.
And all those multi-hits too, just so much damage. And now Heath, on his last stock, has to find a huge opening here if he's going to find himself back in the set.
They catch the landing right there. That's a good lingering hitbox, that side beat in the air, forcing Heath to have a very awkward landing, thrown off stage, and sticking with the Pyro right here. They just want to get the finisher. A very by-the-books Pyro Mithra with how they are switching between the two.
Ooh, okay, Keith being playing with fire against this Pyra because he's just barely escaping these smash attacks.
Yeah, as they're able to get the grab, just trying to get the follow-up, get them above them where one up air will kill. The only question is where you're going to be able to find it. Goes for the landing up air right there. That's going to be punished. I don't hate the switch to Mithra at all. Photon Edge able to get you to ledge, but it doesn't snap to it, so if Heath is able to get that counter there, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. The Flame Nova right there on the landing, and the spot dodge right after that. Leaning very heavily on the spot dodges and rolls right now, but it's working out for Heath, who knows they can't afford to be touched.
Move that down there, not going to kill quite yet. Look at the stage control so far. That's a good jab, though. This is a big edge guard attempt. Catching the side B before it can come out. Last stock scenario here.
That's the side B right there, but the landing dare. There's so many amazing little hitboxes right there from that big old sword as Kibbs goes for the landing Flame Nova again, but finally they get the hit they need, the dash attack to finish off the stock. And honestly, Heath made them sweat. It's the kind of loss right there you feel really bad for Soy, where it felt like they were just starting to figure it out on that last stock. But if you only figure out how to win when you're at 140% at the last stock, come back next week. Show us your progress then. Because all you need is one mistake, which we saw, and all the neutral wins in the world are undone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one of those things, too, that the growing players in this league, you know, it's one thing to be an adaptive player, but you don't really have a lot of time to adapt in this format. It's only a best of 3. So from game 1, if you can't find a way to just flip the switch and turn things around, you could be in for a world of hurt. And I think it's like you said, he's just kind of ran out of runway there.
Yeah, towards the end, I loved what they were doing with the spot dodges. I called it out in the moment. Using the very long lag, knowing that if you get a spot dodge, it is a guaranteed punish, no matter how good the spacing is. That is what Heath was playing off of. Rolling away, spot dodging, making sure that they felt kind of fluid like water, unable to really get a grasp of them. But all you need is, again, one strong swing to really break that surface tension and end the stock when you're already so far along. And yeah. So, very solid lead for Iona College. Let me think. Yeah, I think this is... You could have... Now, and it could be all for naught. Whoops. I'll be right back, folks.
right. While we have a minute here, look at the rest of the lineups while we can. It looks like the players are being locked in now. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we'll actually get a look at the schedule here very quickly. So this is Iona versus Fairfield that you are watching now. Coming up next after the conclusion of this set is Mississippi State versus University of Connecticut. It'll be UConn's second ever match on stream, and they'll be going up against the defending champs. Then we've got University of Colorado versus George Washington University. Two teams really on the rise in the EGF. Should be a fun one. And then we wrap up the day with St. John's going up against University of Hawaii. Two teams looking to kind of distinct themselves early on here in that Central Conference, I believe. So a fully stacked day of matchups, and a lot of them I think are going to be surprisingly close. While the scoreboard may not always reflect that, I feel like a lot of these sets across the board could only be, minimum amount of points earned. So a very interesting day to say the least, and a pivotal week 4.
Yeah, as George Washington, I think they are concluding their run through the giants of EGF with University of Colorado. They haven't been able to get those. I don't think they've gotten any of the huge upsets that they would have wanted yet, but still time. Still definite time for George Washington University. But at the moment, Fairfield definitely going down hard against Iona. That strong opening, when you open up with a double 3 stock, it sets the tone of the entire rest of the game. Every little loss, it hurts even more. And even when you keep it close, it doesn't matter because of that 3 stock towards the beginning. You need another dominant performance like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a huge kind of momentum boost, right? The 3 stocks are something that we just don't see here in the EGF all that often because the talent is so it's so compact, especially in the MAC conference where things are kind of razor's edge, where the games where you get these kind of sets where it looks like on the scoreboard that it's a runaway, but when you look at each set count, it tends to be kind of minimal amount of points earned, and just one stock here or there could have flipped the momentum or made things a little bit closer. It's a very intriguing conference to watch.
Yeah, it certainly is. I feel like this is one of the more intriguing formats for a Smash Brothers team that actually puts more value on every individual teammate. Smash is overall quite an individualist game. Even in crew battles, you have quite a bit of, just one player really being the wall. But there's a limiter on how much of a wall you can be here in EGF. So having those really balanced rosters, having a lot of versatility, that is what is key. That is what Iona is demonstrating as they send out a part of that balanced roster that I have not seen quite yet. Last time, I believe Rat King was running the Bowser Jr., but no, going for the Little Mac. I'm curious. I'll say that.
Yeah, this might be the first Little Mac in the EGF, making it, I guess, his first appearance here in this league. But yeah, we'll have to see how Rat King does. Rat King not typically using this character, and against a Falco, I feel like this is a very different type of matchup because when you have a Little Mac on screen, you just are kind of thinking, okay, I just got to get them off stage, right? But that's where I think Rat King can really take advantage of it. If you kind of tunnel vision on that strategy, Little Mac is the exact type of character that can punish that. But as I say that, fall into the blender and gets back aired.
Yeah, strong confirms right here. Ivy, they don't drop stuff. They don't. And even though they're not hitting the biggest follow-ups right now, Rat King really just hasn't been able to get much. Their spacing has not been quite correct. And we're not coming at someone perfectly as Little Mac, you're gonna get rocked. That's just the nature of playing a character like that.
And Falco is a light character, so he will die early to a character like Little Mac, especially if he lands those strong hits. But right now, IV doing a good job of not being tracked down so easily. But that KO punch will seal away the stock.
You saw the footsies right there. Is the castle that IV protected was that side platform. They tried everything. Down tilt, dash back, forward tilt. It wasn't enough. Eventually, Rat King dashing back and forth was able to win it out. But they're okay with dropping that stock. They're okay with letting Rat King sweat a little because there is nothing that Rat King can realistically do from that distance to approach without them knowing.
Yeah, absolutely is. Ooh, that up B nearly taking the stock.
Yeah, when you get caught by a jumping up B right there, it's already such a good mix-up, especially on Battlefield. Little Mac is shockingly good as if you're not pure circle camping because of the mix-ups that up B provides as a way to catch landings.
Oh, that was actually kind of clean from Rat King, realizing, hey, even if this down tilt catches, I've got armor to use to my advantage here, and nearly taking the stock for it.
Not covering the high recovery, though. Gonna be an opportunity for a punish, but Ivy gets the reversal, holding this stock lead, and now they're trying to play around the platform, but that's not the safest way to circle camp right there with the side B.
Yeah, Ivy... It's going to be important for him to hold on to this stock if he can, and against the power of a Little Mac, it can be very dangerous. Good shield there on that first one. Ambitious neutral B, only going to get punched by a laser.
Is going for this up tilt right now. An opportunity to punish, but good job falling through that platform. You've only got one mix-up right there, if you're going to use it. 53% on this Little Mac coming out up on KO punch. They can rob you at a moment's notice. You've got to be ready for it. And you know Ivy is. Look at how they're playing right now. Dash attack, though. They just want to wait it out. But if you stay on the platforms too long, again, it's an invitation for that up B, and I'm not sure even if online you can react to it. But they're okay with eating this tiny bit of percent. At ledge, is that going to be enough? Yes, it is! 20%! I knew it killed early, but like, I feel like that was maybe catching them holding in a little bit on that. I'm not sure exactly which direction you DI. I assume you hold out, but either way, that's the percentage it kills Jigglypuff at. So there might have been a bit of a mind game right there, but that's the issue. Little Mac is a mind game. I feel like more than most characters in the entire game, it is, am I going to attack? If I'm not, then you're missing a huge opportunity to punish, but if I am, then the super armor is going to get you. Am I going to up B? If I am, then you're going to get hit, but if I'm not, then you're missing a huge opportunity. Like, you get in your head about these missed opportunities to hit Little Mac, you can. You've got to just take the L's in neutral where you can and hit super hard when you get the opportunity to, because otherwise Little Mac's just going to turn it around on you like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I don't know if you could tell, but I had like a grin on my face in that last stock because I could tell Ivy's just hopping from platform to platform. He gets a little bit of that damage from the up B of Little Mac, and I go, all right, well, there's all the damage he needs for that KO punch. Now he's just looking for the one time to land it, and of course, the one time he gets away from that platform is the one time he pulls the trigger on the KO punch. And it's like you said, it is a mind game with this character because no one wants to lose to a character with that one single kill option, knowing that you can take advantage of so much on this character, but it got into Ivy's head there. Little
Mac, again, the fact that Rat King had a very good Bowser Jr. last week makes this the most astounding thing, because Ivy, I think, is probably one of the best players on Fairfield. Like, does Rat King exclusively play characters that were considered low tier on day one, but now are maybe considered with a little higher regard? And again, at ledge, they're going to die for it that time, but that's a trade you'll take when you're at him for 100. Still, like, this is just so perplexing to me, as someone who has seen Rat King a couple times so far.
Yeah, that KO punch was tragic. I think for Rat King, just the slide off of the ledge, but still, I mean, he's got all of the momentum in the world now in this set.
And you're almost coming up one more little hit, and you're going to be having the KO punch online. It's kill percent. I guess that is the issue with the lasers. I mean, I hadn't really thought about that too much, but oh my gosh, that was almost a stock right there, but they turned it around by accident. Now IV, they can get aggressive. They know another KO punch is coming out again, but still the super armor is still there on everything else.
Gotta play carefully around this ledge. Rat King just lets him back, and a little bit of a mind game of his own here, I guess.
Yeah, IV at this point is like, I am not being made a fool of. I am not a clown. You're not going to clown on me this time. But they're out of the up tilt kill confirmed range right now for Rat King. Just the run up B. That's a different kind of mix up right there. But if you're able to shield the smash attack, you are able to get the punish right there. We're opting up for the shield though to cross it up. Interesting from Rat King.
And IV, he knows this stock is everything for the rest of this game in particular. There's just so much momentum from putting your opponent on that last stock. Big counter! And surviving his IV.
IV, you've really got to feel for them. Because I feel like in the first game, they had a little more confidence against this Little Mac, and they hadn't really demonstrated how easily it was to get reversal. Oh my gosh, with all this rage, literally like a jab, and you're at risk of dying. They're at maximum rage. So yeah.
Yeah, this is
actually
very
what
scary.
You need to do. Okay. Try and go for the mix-up right there. Now it'll kill. I truly believe that with the rage, now it'll kill, but Rat King knew it too. IV knew it too. And when every party is aware, well, you're able to dodge it. Now you're just a Little Mac at kill percent. Oh my gosh. I like the walks right there, not getting too committal. You've got to know exactly what Little Mac's burst range is, though. You don't want to accidentally walk into it like you do there with the dash attack. IV wants to find the opening so bad right now, but the patience from Rat King, he's like, listen, I'm not the one holding the matchup, bro. You are. If you just approach, it'd be over.
Yeah, absolutely. Very dangerous. And IV, yeah, I mean, Rat King's in his head right now because there's just, what do you do here if you're IV? You approach, you're going to get punished for it, and you're at kill percent now.
Yeah, okay, you're able to get the down tilt there. Oh, the taunts, though. It's never a good sign, but hopefully you can channel that anger into something a little more productive. The words are taken out of my mouth. Stolen is IV. There's no words. You did it. You did everything right. At least in theory. But that is the curse of low tiers, where you ask people how to deal with them, and they're like, just camp them out. They have no way to approach you. And so you do. And then you get to the point where you're camping them out and they have no way to approach you, and you realize, what's step 2? No one ever told me what step 2 was. And, well, I'm not sure. They tried some poking and prodding, but maybe they need to study up a little more to figure out what their step 2 is. Is it having a tremendous punish game so when you do get an opening, it is going to be huge? Is it having the with punish potential that you can easily punish these not lagless moves that Mac is throwing out? There are options here. IV just wasn't able to put them together on such short notice.
Yeah, and we saw glimpses of what IV could do. I mean, he got things like the drag down there into up tilt. We saw his up tilt conversions. I mean, for the most part, they were on point, except for those extra high percents where, you fell out of it. So, IV, again, one of the heavy hitters of Fairfield. I think he just kind of, like he said, I think he kind of mind gamed himself out of the out of the set there, because Rat King, I mean, it felt like the second Rat King grabbed momentum, he said, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this.
Yeah. I'm still held up on the Little Mac at all. Like, I know this is like day one stuff. Little Mac is a little more viable now, but Little Mac really is mind game the character. All of the mechanics between the killing at 0, between the super armor smash attacks, and the amazing ground game, you are saying it's like picking Spy in TF2 or Genji in Overwatch. It's like, I am better than you in neutral, and I'm gonna show it here and now. And if you're not, if you can't stand up to me, you're gonna get smacked hard. But if I lose neutral, I'm dead. Like, that is the devil's pact you're signing when you pick a character like Little Mac, and it worked. It worked tremendously well. I'm in awe of what Rat King just demonstrated. I can't wait to see what else they have in their little bag of tricks, as we do know who is coming in next. It's going to be Jerry from the side of Fairfield University taking on Yaliso. And Yaliso in particular, they're a very unique player in the EGF. If I remember correctly, they are a Mii Gunner player who plays a lot around movement. Like, you will see what I mean. It's hard to describe, but there are little things like how the back air shifts your momentum in the air, the B reverses, wave bounces off platforms, even just turnarounds midair. That's Liso's bread and butter. And not many people are ready for how slippery this Mii Gunner is. They don't play it like anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah, and Jerry is one of these players for the side of Fairfield. I believe he plays Terry mostly, and he's had a lot of success. He's 2-1 so far in the year, and his only loss is to Rograt from Marist, who's that Greninja that looked very good. He's looked very good for the past 2-3 seasons now. So actually, he's going. It looks like Terry and Kazuya are on his docket, I should say. But he's one of these players that I think for Fairfield that again, a lot of emphasis on him. Can he step up to the plate in these big matchups? And Yaliso is one of these kind of bigger names, I think, or rising names for Iona.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry being one of the heavy hitters on a team where you don't get the chance to show that often, it can hurt. As Jerry, I mean, look at the score. It's 23-2. There's no chance of winning this. So all you've got to do is put on a good show. That's what I'm looking for from Jerry. And based on what we've seen so far, I think they can do it. We've seen some amazing Terry and Kazuya players, specifically all... Okay? Is this legal? Is this legal this week?
Throw it all out the window. I think it is.
Okay. We're playing it out. But Yaliso's on the Mii Roller this time, so they're not just a Mii Gunner. Okay. Alright, take back everything I just said. Sometimes players do this to you.
Yeah, and well, I guess this is technically Sora's first appearance in the EGF, so yeah, happy birthday, I guess. And I think I'd have to favor Sora in neutral, but I am very scared of just the raw kill power that this Mii Brawler has.
And they do have the Thrupper right there. That's terrifying. I don't know how well that works on a floaty character like Sora, though. Like, genuinely, no idea. It's all going to come down to when this grab comes out. With the fastballs, it's so easy to get tomahawks. But Sora, the fact that you can up B out of shield like that and then side B away, it's like if Link's up B out of shield, which is already a great move, had quick attack attached.
Yeah.
It's so tremendously safe. And you're able to cover your landing as well. Yaliso giving a lot of respect to this new unknown character. But so far, looking okay for them. They're able to get the Fire Aggro back online. Up the out of shield. They know not to challenge it this time, though. Where does the kill come out, though? That's my question. It's going to be the back air. At center stage, that percent, it's going to be enough.
Yeah, and the question I think for Jerry in this match is, where does he find his kill confirms? Because it feels like a lot of Sora's moves are good for damage and combo, but the kill moves are a lot harder to land. But speaking of finding the forward smash there, sealing away stock number 1.
Yes. A little grab right there into some nice damage. Some nice... Honestly, this is looking... Yaliso is looking more like the fighting game character than Jerry with the amount of footsies they're playing on the ground right here. And I love all of the empty hops with the fast falls. Like, it makes your movement so nebulous. And I called out the movement. It's not quite the same wacky movement we see on Mii Gunner, but it's still how Yaliso looks at the game through their movement.
Yeah, just making himself so hard to track down, and on top of that too, Jerry's just he's got all of these options, between the different magics and the side B to try and get in and track him down, because I believe that side B does act somewhat like a homing attack, but it's still, you can tell he's just struggling to find openings.
Yes. Ooh, that was a nice attempt at a read right there. More of those call-outs and might eventually get punished. Or, again, you can't challenge it. And Yaliso, that is a knowledge check that they are not going to be caught by. That down smash, I think a second one might have even broken shield right there, so Yaliso had to get out of dodge. Have Sora at kill percent on ledge now. What do you do with it? You have to let him in. Again, not challenging it. Landing that side, be a little close to the shield, though. Edge right here. That's not enough of a cross-up right there. There it is, the up smash.
Yeah, big stock for Yaliso to take there. There's that side B too. That does 22%. That's a lot for this character.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, that up B does kill, so Yaliso landing above them is gonna hurt a lot. Not a good opportunity to do it quite yet, though. Landing the forward tilt right there, and off the side. Not gonna be enough, though, yet. Honestly, again, very disciplined movement right now, but it's not enough as you caught landing on that platform. Jerry, okay, slow the pace of the game down just a little bit. Yaliso really struggling to find those easy hits that they were getting early on. Jerry getting a better hand on how they like to move with the down throw thropper. Not on a platform, not going to kill.
Yeah, big stock there for Jerry. Again, at 103, he is susceptible to dying here. Sort of not the heaviest character. Big counter to survive that neutral B, and he does find a way back to stage. This is a huge opening for him.
They're dodging through the thunder again, but Jerry's caught them in that frame trap a couple times now. Hits the punish with the back air. I'm not really seeing as many movement mix-ups from Yaliso anymore. They're a little more scared to be playing on the ground. They want this kill so bad that it's really evident in their gameplay. But again, it doesn't matter if they're starting to figure out towards the end of the game. Only one move, one mistake, that's all you need. And yeah. Gonna be 1 second. I apologize, folks. A bit of technical difficulties here, but I will be right back on screen in a moment, as I am still here and I am still quite impressed with how I felt like it was still a very neutral-based play for Yaliso, but it was enough that, like, when you're landing the back air as your kill confirm, you are winning neutral. That's what it is, you know, so.
No, absolutely. And the other thing too is it just felt like Yaliso's spacing. There you are. It just felt like Yaliso's spacing was a little bit more clean, you know. And despite Jerry's his movement options were very good, and his ability to be kind of tracked down was a little bit more difficult, right? With things like the up B to platform making it a little bit harder to punish him. Yaliso was still able to find those openings, and eventually those back airs just did so much work.
Yeah. I feel like, again, condition your opponent to not know what to expect out of a short hop. That's what it really is. Are you going to land with a Nair, which is a very safe hitbox, no hitbox at all, which is an invitation for a grab, or another short hop immediately, or are you going to throw out the back air, which is a punishable hitbox, but only if you're ready for it. But the sheer amount of short hops mixed into their movement, most of them empty hops, makes it impossible to predict exactly when that back air is going to come out. We saw that be very evident.
Yeah, and it excuse me, and it felt like Jerry on the other side of the coin here found it very difficult for him to take stocks off of this character. Now, Brawler, I mean, I don't think he has the best recovery, but you saw he was able to try and go out for those edge guards, and he just could not find the strong hits aside from that forward smash first stock, which I think was more of an air dodge read, if I remember correctly, back to stage. Outside of that spacing, it felt like Jerry was really kind of hunting for that kill move.
Yeah, I feel like Jerry really needs to find ways to cover a little bit higher, because the down air is nice, but the reason that ESAM himself picked up Me Gunner as a counter pick to Meister is because Thrupper is one of the only moves in the game that will beat out Key. The Game & Watch's down air. Infamously good priority. And if it'll beat out Key, then it beats out that. But you don't have to worry about the Thrupper this time. It's going to be the Me Gunner instead.
And I think I like this pick a lot more. Despite the stage change, I think this is going to make things a lot more difficult for Jerry.
Has nice bread and butters right off the bat, but they're not going to be caught by those little tricks and traps. The up air through stage, not going to connect. Yaliso caught out. I mean, they jumped high, they jumped higher, and Jerry followed them all the way up.
Jerry doing a good job right now of keeping Yaliso to the corners of the stage, and Yaliso not afraid to be there necessarily, but it's kind of limiting his options, and Jerry doing a good job of tracking him down.
Oh no! Slipping up just a little bit with that upbeat timing is going to cost Jerry the stock and the lead. Yaliso holding up now. Trying to tech chase with that rocket, but it's not going to be enough, as, again, this is the movement that I'm talking about, making it so nebulous where you're going to be, what space you occupy, what threat range you hold in your disposal. As out of shield, that forward tilt is going to punish Jerry. Keeping that ledge, but the landing there is not going to be enough. Oh, Jerry is starting to get aggressive with that side B after the upbeat, but Yaliso is ready.
I am surprised that pulled him in, but good stuff to Jerry, cleaning up that first stock, and now at 83, there's still some work to be done, but, I mean, he's not out of the woods yet.
Trying to tech chase with that landing there, but just the raw charge shot in neutral. Well aware that Jerry isn't going to be just throwing up the shield. Not going to connect the up air, but you're doing just fine and dandy. Up smash out of shield to do the trick. Little rainbow of explosions there to take the stock, and now again we're back to slipping and sliding around. That's what it really feels like, the way they move with this back air.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, it is the forward air, but it makes it so hard to know where they're going to be hurting you from.
Yeah, and the spacing of it too, right? If you use that forward air just for neutral purposes, then Jerry doesn't really have an easy way to get under that move and still find a way to punish.
100% Soy. As, again, sometimes Yaliso can just turn the temperature down and go back towards this slower style that Me Gunner is more famous for, but the mix-ups in the air, again, they're not hitting with the forward air. Again, the fact that the forward air is their main movement tool is so funny to me. It gives them character that not a lot of people have, and reading the spot dodge right there, or the neutral get-up rather, is going to be enough to take the stock. Yaliso onto their main, take some names, taking out Jerry, and it's not quite a shutout against Fairfield University, but 28-2, dominant performance for Iona. There were some close games, certainly, Soy, but overall Iona did flawless.
And I really think from set number one, it kind of set the tone, right? That huge three stock, that huge perfect game right up the bat really set the momentum for the rest of the match. But this is something that Iona kind of needed, right? At 1 and 2, you're looking for a distinctive match to say, hey, we are not, going to be one of these teams that struggles this season. We need a statement type of match to show that we came here to the MAC to play. And this is exactly what you need. A team like Fairfield that tended to struggle a little bit last year, just run up the score on them at a huge 26-point difference. That's a lot. That is a huge point difference. I mean, it's not the most we've seen, but it's certainly a big game for the Gales.
Yeah, huge performance for Iona College. And we can ask them a little more about how they prepare for it and how they feel about their very unique style, because we're going to get an interview with Kibbs after a quick break. So don't go anywhere. EGFC will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC. We're here with the captain of Iona College, Kibbs, after a big, very dominant win. How you doing, Kibbs?
I'm doing really good, especially after we had a tough loss last week, but coming back for a 28-2 win always feels good.
Hey, I mean, a lot of reasons to be proud right there. As, well, you mentioned that loss that you had. After taking an L like that, how do you prepare for the next week to make sure you're ready to bring your A game?
A lot of studying, I'm going to be honest. We're definitely just analyzing the sets. I had one of our moderators watch a lot of Fairfield VODs, and we even have a list, all the characters that they play, where they like to go, their strengths and weaknesses, and we kind of play with that. We knew who we were expecting to play while we were sending our people in.
Yeah, and I actually had a question about that. Sorry, so I don't mean to just immediately jump over you, but since you brought it up, there were a couple times, specifically, it was against one of the Jokers, I think it was Heath, where it looked like they just, game one, in the first combo, they already had a hard read on when they wanted to go for, Rebel's Guard and stuff. Is that how deeply you're studying?
Oh, what do you mean? We don't have a Joker.
No. You were they were playing against a Joker. I'm trying to remember which matchup.
Yeah, that was me.
That was you. I brought it up and I was like, I wasn't sure if that was you. Yeah, you already game one had a hard read on where they were Rebels guarding. Is that something you picked up from the VODs?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He has very calculated Rebels guard. So I did down throw nair, and then I just waited. Saw that he'd bring out the Rebels guard, and then I did down throw nair just because I knew I could.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh no, they've studied hard for this. Fairfield, they should be sweating. But yeah, very impressive.
We did.
Yeah, I mean, you personally in that match, it felt like you had a very good read, of course, on Heath. What is something that you think you need to work on heading into week number 5?
Oh, that is a loaded question. Something I need to work on? Something I need to work on is I need to stop fishing. I dare so much in neutral just so I can fish for stomp knee, stomp back air, stomp up air and try to get an extension, or I stomp and get the trip and try to get a regrab. I do it all the time, and that is easily my biggest weakness, and I need to stop it. I've been trying. I have been trying, but it's just not working out yet. We'll get there.
At least you're aware of it. Awareness, admitting you have a problem is the first step. You know?
Yeah, unfortunately it is.
But, hey, not too much of a problem as you got the big win and you can continue working on that throughout the rest of the season. And, well, you're moving on. Iona is actually towards... I hate to bring it up, but you are towards, the bottom of the rankings, but you're climbing up pretty fast. How do you feel about your performance going into the latter half of the season? Do you think you've tightened up the bootstraps enough where you could be a serious contender come the end of the year?
I truly believe that we're definitely getting the download. We've both games we've lost, both matches we have lost, was because we're still so new to the format. Because our team is a very freshman-heavy team, so we're still not used to this whole format. And I think once we get used to it and get it down, today, when we knew who we were playing, we knew who we were going to play against, and we knew the format, we set up a roster and a list, we knew what we were doing, we killed them. Just like when we played against Niagara. When we knew what we were doing, it was a free sweep. So I think we will definitely be a threat in the latter half of the season. 100%.
Hey. Well, that is very good to hear, and I wish you the best of luck for that. But for now, thanks for coming in to interview. Thanks for talking.
Thank you so much.
All right, see you around, Kibbs, and you'll see us around because we're going to go to a very quick break. When we return, we've got another exciting match coming up. Mississippi State, the defending champion, is going to be on screen against the University of Connecticut. Don't miss it, but for now, I've been Keel Miles. This is Soy. We'll see you all in a few minutes.